Activity. In a classroom setting, an activity could be science experiment, where students conduct a hands-on experiment to learn about chemical reactions. Activity code. In a library, books are labeled with unique activity codes like FIC 001 for fiction or HIS 003 for history books, making it easier to classify and track them. Activity identifier. In a restaurant, each dish on the menu is assigned an activity identifier like APP001 for appetizers or ENT003 for entrees to identify and track them efficiently. Activity label. In a dance class, the instructor may use warm-up routine as an activity label for the initial set of exercises to prepare the students for the main dance session. Actual cost, AC. In a household budget, the actual cost represents the amount spent on groceries during a specific month, indicating the real expenses incurred. Analogous estimating. In a cooking class, if the instructor estimates the cooking time for a new recipe based on experience with a similar dish, that's analogous estimating. Apportioned effort. In a school group project, if each team member contributes proportionally to complete a presentation, it's an example of apportioned effort. Assumption. In a hiking trip plan, an assumption could be that the weather will be clear and sunny throughout the journey. Backward pass. In a scavenger hunt game, participants may start from the final destination and perform a backward pass to identify the clues leading to the starting point. Baseline. In a baking contest, the recipe and ingredients list approved by the judges at the beginning of the contest form the baseline for the participants' creations. Bottom-up estimating. In a puzzle-solving activity, participants estimate the total time needed to complete the puzzle by summing up the individual estimated times for each piece. Budgeted completion, BAC. In a student project to organize a school fair, the budgeted completion represents the total allocated funds for all fair activities. Change control. In a board game development project, the change control process ensures that any modifications to the game rules are well documented and reviewed by the team. Change control board. In a family trip planning, the change control board, consisting of family members, decides on any itinerary changes based on a majority vote. Change control system. In a company's product development process, the change control system ensures that any design changes to the product go through proper approval procedures. Change request. In a travel booking app development, a change request may be raised to include an additional payment method for users. Code of accounts. In a grocery store, the code of accounts assigns unique identifiers to different product categories like FRU001 for fruits or BAK003 for baked goods. Communications management plan. In a music band project, the communication management plan outlines how band members will stay in touch, whether via group chats or regular meetings. Configuration management system. In a fashion design project, the configuration management system tracks all design iterations and ensures that each version is appropriately documented. Constraint. In a travel tour plan, the constraint could be the limited number of seats available for a specific tour due to bus capacity limitations. Contingency plan. In a school event planning, the contingency plan outlines alternative venues and activities in case of bad weather on the event day. Contingency reserve. In a car repair project, the mechanic sets aside a contingency reserve of extra parts in case unexpected damage is found during the repair process. Control account. In a gardening project, the control account tracks expenses for all gardening tasks, including soil preparation, planting, and irrigation. Corrective action. In a school project, if a student's grades are declining, the corrective action could be to seek additional tutoring. Cost baseline. In a fundraising event, the cost baseline includes the projected expenses for venue rental, food, and entertainment. Cost management plan. In a charity project, the cost management plan outlines how expenses will be managed and controlled throughout the project. Cost performance index, CPI. In a sports event organization, the CPI indicates the financial efficiency in achieving the planned event goals compared to the budget. Cost variance, CV. In a volunteer project, a positive CV means that the actual expenses are lower than what was budgeted. Crashing. In a video game development project, the team may decide to add more designers and developers to crash the development timeline and speed up the game's release. Critical chain method. In a music festival organization, the critical chain method helps identify the activities that could potentially cause delays in the festival's preparation. Critical path. In a holiday trip planning, the critical path includes the sequence of essential tasks that must be completed on time to ensure a smooth and enjoyable trip. Critical path activity. In a film production, the critical path activity could be post-production, since it directly affects the film's release date. Critical path method. In a restaurant opening project, the critical path method helps determine the most efficient sequence of tasks for a successful launch. Decision tree analysis. In a board game where players have to choose between different paths on the game board, a decision tree analysis can be used to evaluate the potential outcomes and consequences of each decision, helping players make informed choices. Decomposition. In a puzzle game where players have to assemble a complex image, they can start by breaking it down into smaller pieces, such as arranging the edge pieces, colors, and patterns, which is a process of decomposition to simplify the task. Defect repair. In a car repair shop, if a vehicle fails to meet safety standards during inspection, the mechanics perform defect repair by fixing or replacing the faulty parts to ensure the car meets required standards. Deliverable. In a cooking show competition, the deliverable for a contestant could be to present a completed dish on a plate to the judges within a specified time, ready to be tasted and evaluated. Discrete effort. In a music recording studio, recording each instrument separately, e.g., vocals, drums, guitar, is a discrete effort activity to ensure better control and quality for each element before they are mixed together. Duration. In a cooking competition, the duration for cooking a specific dish like a soufflé could be estimated as 30 minutes, considering the preparation and cooking time required to achieve the desired result. Early finish date. In a marathon race, the early finish date for a runner is the time they expect to complete the race, considering their pace, distance covered, and remaining route to the finish line. Early start date. In a gardening project to grow vegetables, the early start date for planting seeds is determined by considering the optimal weather conditions and the time required for the vegetables to grow. Earned value, EV. In a game development project, the earned value represents the progress made in completing a specific level, calculated by comparing the planned tasks and resources against the actual work done. Earned value management. In a restaurant renovation project, earned value management is like regularly checking the restaurant's budget and construction progress to ensure that the actual expenses and work completed align with the planned estimates. Effort. In a DIY home improvement project, the effort needed to paint a room includes the number of hours spent, the energy exerted, and the focus required to achieve a flawless finish. Enterprise environmental factors. In a soccer tournament organization, the enterprise environmental factors can include factors like the availability of sports facilities, weather conditions, and local regulations that can affect the tournament's execution. Estimated completion, EAC. In a film production, the estimated completion is the expected total budget for the entire movie based on the actual expenses incurred so far and the projected costs for the remaining scenes and post-production. Estimate to complete, ETC. In a home renovation project, the estimate to complete the project accounts for the expected additional costs for finishing touches, furnishings, and final inspections based on the current progress. Fast tracking. In a cooking competition, fast tracking involves accelerating cooking time by using advanced cooking techniques and multitasking to complete the dishes faster without compromising quality. Finish to finish. In a music concert organization, the finish to finish relationship exists between the sound check and the setup of lighting equipment, meaning the sound check must finish before the lighting setup can be completed. Fixed formula method. In a financial investment project, a fixed formula method is used to calculate the earned return on investment based on predetermined interest rates and the principal amount invested. Forward pass. In a book publishing project, the forward pass technique helps calculate the early dates for manuscript submission, editing, and printing based on the planned timeline and dependencies. Free float. In a travel itinerary planning project, the free float is the time available for sightseeing or relaxation between scheduled activities without affecting the overall trip duration. Functional organization. In a software development company, the functional organization structure means that programmers, designers, and testers report to their respective department heads, and the project manager coordinates the project across these departments. Gantt chart. In a party planning project, a Gantt chart visually displays the different party preparation tasks and their corresponding timeframes, helping the organizer track progress and manage activities effectively. Lag. In a relay race, there may be a lag of a few seconds between the completion of one runner's leg and the start of the next runner's leg as they pass the baton. Late finish date. In a dinner party preparation, the late finish date for cooking the main course is the latest time it can be completed without delaying the serving of the entire meal. Lessons learned. In a student's study routine, they keep a notebook to document the lessons learned from previous study sessions, helping them improve their study habits and performance. Level of effort. In a fitness training program, the level of effort for a weekly running session might involve running for 45 minutes, regardless of the distance covered. Logical relationship. In a puzzle-solving game, the logical relationship between solving clue A and unlocking clue B is, if-then, meaning you must solve A first to progress to B. Management reserve. In a household budget, a portion of savings set aside as a management reserve can be used to address unexpected expenses, like a car repair or medical emergency. Matrix organization. In a sports team, the coach works in a matrix organization, sharing decision-making authority with assistant coaches specialized in different aspects like offense and defense. Milestone. In a hiking expedition, reaching the summit of a mountain is a milestone, marking a significant achievement in the journey. Milestone schedule. In a music festival organization, the milestone schedule includes key events like ticket sales launch, artist announcements, and stage setup with their planned dates. Most likely duration. In a cooking competition, the most likely duration for preparing a dish is estimated at 30 minutes, considering factors like recipe complexity and cooking expertise. Near critical activity. In a school project, the activity, data analysis, has a tight deadline, making it near critical, as any delay in completing this task may impact the overall project submission. Near critical path. In a wedding planning project, the sequence of activities, venue booking, and vendor selection has limited float, making it a near critical path, as any delays may affect the wedding date. Network logic. In a transportation project, the network logic specifies that constructing the bridge must be completed before starting road construction to ensure a smooth flow of activities. Network path. In a travel itinerary, the network path consists of booking flights, reserving accommodations, and arranging sightseeing tours, all interconnected to form the travel plan. Node. In a family tree diagram, a node represents an individual, and the connections between nodes show their relationships within the family. Progressive elaboration. In a software development project, progressive elaboration is similar to building a complex puzzle where you start with the corners and edges, gradually adding more pieces to reveal the complete picture. Project. In a culinary school, a project could involve creating a new recipe from scratch, including selecting ingredients, developing cooking techniques, and presenting the final dish. Project acceptance criteria. In a graphic design project, the project acceptance criteria define the specific requirements that the final artwork must meet to be approved by the client. Project baseline. In a fashion design project, the project baseline represents the initial sketches, fabric choices, and color palette that form the foundation for creating the clothing collection. Project budget. In a travel agency, the project budget outlines the estimated costs for organizing a group tour, including flights, accommodations, activities, and tour guides. Project charter. In a real estate development project, the project charter sets out the vision, objectives, and initial resources allocated for constructing a commercial building. Project closeout. In a film production, project closeout involves wrapping up shooting, post-production, and distribution to finalize the movie's release. Project constraints. In a software development project, constraints may include tight deadlines, limited budget, and specific technology requirements that must be considered during development. Project cost management. In a retail expansion project, project cost management involves planning, estimating, and controlling the expenses associated with opening new stores. Project deliverables. In a publishing project, the deliverables include the printed books and e-books ready for distribution to readers. Project description. In an environmental conservation project, the project description details the goals, methods, and expected outcomes of restoring a local ecosystem. Project duration. In a music festival organization, the project duration encompasses the time from planning the event to the last performance on the main stage. Project end date. In a charity fundraising project, the end date marks the deadline for collecting donations and presenting the funds to the chosen cause. Project execution. In a sports event organization, project execution involves setting up venues, coordinating teams, and managing ticket sales to ensure a smooth event experience for attendees. Project governance. In a multinational corporation, project governance ensures that all subsidiaries follow standardized procedures when implementing company-wide projects. Project integration management. In an architectural project, integration management involves coordinating multiple design aspects, such as structural, electrical, and interior, to create a cohesive building plan. Project kickoff. In a technology startup, the project kickoff is like a launch party celebrating the beginning of a new product development initiative. Project lifecycle. In an automotive manufacturing project, the project lifecycle covers the stages from designing a new car model to its production, marketing, and eventual discontinuation. Project manager. In an education reform project, the project manager oversees a team of educators, administrators, and experts working together to implement innovative teaching methods. Project network diagram. In a transportation infrastructure project, the network diagram illustrates the interconnections between road construction, bridge building, and traffic management activities. Project objectives. In a healthcare project, the objectives can include reducing patient wait times, improving medical outcomes, and increasing staff satisfaction. Project organization chart. In a technology company, the project organization chart depicts the hierarchy of project teams, managers, and stakeholders responsible for developing new software. Project planning. In a wedding planning project, careful planning involves choosing the venue, selecting the catering service, and arranging the seating to create the perfect ceremony. Project portfolio. In a media conglomerate, the project portfolio includes diverse ventures, such as film production, television broadcasting, and online streaming services. Project prioritization. In a research institute, project prioritization helps allocate resources to projects with the most significant scientific potential and societal impact. Project procurement management. In a fashion brand's expansion project, procurement management involves sourcing materials, negotiating with suppliers, and securing manufacturing contracts. Project quality management. In a healthcare facility renovation, quality management ensures that construction materials and methods meet the industry's safety and regulatory standards. Project risks. In a renewable energy project, risks may involve environmental factors, changing regulations, and unpredictable weather conditions that could impact energy production. Project scope. In an urban development project, the scope defines the specific neighborhood area and infrastructure improvements targeted for revitalization. Project schedule. In a concert production, the project schedule outlines the dates for rehearsals, sound checks, and performances to ensure the show runs smoothly. Project scope statement. In a software development project, the scope statement outlines the functionalities and features that the final product must include. Project sponsor. In a charity fundraising project, the sponsor is an influential figure who supports the cause, attracts donors, and provides financial backing. Project stakeholders. In an education policy reform project, stakeholders may include teachers' unions, parent-teacher associations, and school administrators with vested interests in the project's outcomes. Project team. In an architectural design project, the team comprises architects, engineers, and interior designers working together to create innovative building solutions. Project time management. In a legal case preparation, time management ensures that all required documentation, evidence gathering, and witness testimonies are completed before the trial date. Project tracking. In a technology startup, project tracking involves monitoring development progress, identifying obstacles, and adjusting strategies to meet product release deadlines. Project WBS, work breakdown structure. In an advertising campaign, the WBS breaks down the campaign into tasks such as market research, creative development, media planning, and ad production. Projectized organization. In a film production company, the projectized organization structure assembles specialized teams for each movie production, each with its own director and crew. Regression analysis. In a pharmaceutical research project, regression analysis is used to determine the relationship between drug dosage and patients' responses. Reliability. In a manufacturing project, reliability refers to the consistency of product quality, ensuring that each item meets the same standard. Requirements management. In a software development project, requirements management involves documenting, analyzing, and tracking user needs throughout the development process. Resource allocation. In an agricultural project, resource allocation involves distributing labor, machinery, and fertilizer to optimize crop yield. Resource breakdown structure, RBS. In a construction project, the RBS categorizes labor, equipment, and materials required for different project tasks. Resource leveling. In a technology startup, resource leveling ensures that each department has the necessary personnel and tools to achieve project milestones. Resource management plan. In a music festival organization, the resource management plan coordinates stage crews, security teams, and artists to create a successful event. Resource smoothing. In a manufacturing project, resource smoothing ensures that production capacity is balanced, avoiding overloading certain departments. Risk appetite. In a financial investment project, risk appetite defines the level of uncertainty the investors are willing to tolerate to achieve higher returns. Risk management. In a space exploration project, risk management assesses potential hazards and establishes safety protocols for astronauts and equipment. Risk mitigation. In an environmental conservation project, risk mitigation strategies may include protecting vulnerable habitats and species from potential threats. Risk register. In a financial institution, the risk register documents potential financial risks such as market volatility, interest rate changes, and credit defaults. Risk tolerance. In a startup venture, risk tolerance refers to the founder's willingness to accept uncertainty and invest resources into the business. S-curve. In a technology product development project, the S-curve illustrates the gradual increase in performance and market adoption over time. Schedule compression. In a fashion brand's product launch, schedule compression may involve fast-tracking design, manufacturing, and marketing to meet a tight release date. Schedule baseline. The schedule baseline for a construction project is like a carefully plotted roadmap that the project team follows to reach their destination on time. Schedule compression. In an event planning project, schedule compression is akin to using a time-saving express lane at a theme park, allowing the project team to deliver the event quicker without compromising its quality. Schedule management plan. In a software development project, the schedule management plan acts as a conductor's baton, guiding the team's tempo and ensuring everyone plays their part at the right time. Schedule model. In a manufacturing project, the schedule model is like assembling a detailed puzzle with each piece representing an essential part of the project's timeline. Schedule model analysis. In a construction project, schedule model analysis is similar to studying the intricate gears of a clock, understanding how they interact to keep time. Schedule network analysis. In a marketing campaign project, schedule network analysis is like plotting the most efficient route on a map to ensure all promotional activities align seamlessly. Schedule performance index, SPI. In an IT project, an SPI of 0.95 is comparable to an athlete running at 95% of their planned pace, showing that they are slightly behind their target time. Schedule variance, SV. In a construction project, a negative SV of $5,000 is like realizing you spend more money than planned on a vacation, resulting in budget concerns. Scope baseline. In a product development project, the scope baseline is like the blueprint of a building, providing a detailed plan that ensures the project's objectives are met. Scope creep. In a software development project, scope creep is similar to a garden gradually expanding beyond its intended boundaries, requiring extra care and resources to maintain. Scope management plan. In a consulting project, the scope management plan is like a roadmap that guides the team to navigate through client requirements and expectations effectively. S-curve analysis. In a construction project, S-curve analysis is like watching the steady growth of a plant over time, allowing project managers to monitor progress and adjust accordingly. Secondary risk. Implementing a risk response for a software project is like installing antivirus software to protect a computer. However, the secondary risk could be unexpected software conflicts. Sponsor. In an infrastructure project, the sponsor is akin to a generous benefactor supporting the creation of a masterpiece, providing the necessary resources and encouragement. Staffing management plan. In an HR project, the staffing management plan acts as a well-thought-out script that guides the team in selecting and managing the right cast of characters for the project. Stakeholder. In a community development project, stakeholders are like diverse puzzle pieces coming together to complete the picture of a thriving community. Stakeholder engagement plan. In an environmental project, the stakeholder engagement plan is like a bridge connecting the project team with local communities and environmental advocates. Start to finish. In a construction project, the logical relationship, start to finish, is like completing one step of baking a cake before moving on to the next, ensuring everything comes together harmoniously. Start to start. In a manufacturing project, the logical relationship, start to start, is like setting up multiple assembly lines simultaneously to streamline the production process. Successor activity. In a software development project, a successor activity is like a baton passed from one runner to the next in a relay race, indicating the next stage is ready to begin. Summary activity. In a marketing campaign project, digital marketing, summary activity is like a table of contents, providing an overview of the various promotional activities. Threat. In a construction project, a threat is akin to dark clouds looming on the horizon, indicating potential challenges that need to be proactively addressed. 3-point estimating. In an engineering project, 3-point estimating is like combining the expertise of multiple weather forecasters to predict the most likely weather conditions for a construction site. To complete performance index, TCPI. In a software development project, TCPI is like a speedometer, showing how efficiently the team needs to work to achieve the project's budget target. Total float. In a project to build a bridge, total float is like having extra time in your schedule, allowing for flexibility without impacting the overall project completion date. Trigger condition. In a risk management plan for a pharmaceutical project, a trigger condition is like a fire alarm, signaling the need for immediate action to mitigate a potential risk. Variance analysis. In a marketing project, variance analysis is like comparing the planned budget for a campaign with the actual expenses incurred to identify where adjustments are needed. Variance at completion, VAC. In a financial project, a positive VAC is like finding extra money in your budget at the end of the month, resulting in financial gains. WBS dictionary. In an engineering project, the WBS dictionary is like a glossary, providing detailed explanations and definitions for each part of the project. Weighted milestone method. In a research project, the weighted milestone method is like giving more importance to significant milestones, reflecting their impact on the project's overall progress. What-if scenario analysis. In a technology project, conducting a what-if scenario analysis is like exploring different routes on a map before starting a journey, allowing the project manager to anticipate potential roadblocks and plan alternative paths to reach the destination successfully. Work breakdown structure, WBS. In a construction project, the WBS is like a detailed blueprint of a house, breaking down the complex process of building a home into separate tasks, such as laying the foundation, constructing the walls, and installing electrical systems. Work package. In a software development project, a work package is like a neatly packaged gift containing all the necessary materials and instructions for the team to complete the developed user interface task effectively and efficiently. Workaround. In an IT project, implementing a workaround is like using a spare key when the main door lock malfunctions, allowing the team to continue working until the issue is resolved, just as a backup server takes over when the main server fails unexpectedly.